Good afternoon and welcome to Pakistan Today from our Islamabad studio. I'm Chris Taylor. The United States Central Command says it has carried out airstrikes against Iranian military sites after Tehran allegedly targeted a commercial vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM says U.S. aircraft struck Iranian missile and drone storage facilities, as well as coastal radar locations, following what Washington described as an attack on the vessel MV Ever Lovely. U.S. officials called the incident a violation of the ceasefire and said military forces would continue monitoring the region to ensure safe navigation and security for commercial shipping. The developments mark another escalation in already heightened tensions across the Gulf region. Meanwhile, Iran says it remains determined to maintain control over the Strait of Hormuz amid rising tensions with the United States. Iranian officials say recent U.S. strikes came after earlier incidents involving commercial vessels and military exchanges between both sides. Tehran has warned that the strategic waterway will remain restricted if ships do not coordinate with Iranian authorities. The remarks have renewed concerns over global trade flows and international energy supplies as a significant share of the world's oil exports passes through the strait. In another major diplomatic development, Israel and Lebanon have signed a U.S.-brokered framework agreement in Washington aimed at ending fighting between Israel and the Iran-backed Hezbollah movement. The agreement was signed at the State Department by Lebanese Ambassador Nada Moawad, Israeli envoy Yechiel Leiter, and U.S. officials. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio described the deal as a first step on what he called a difficult but necessary path toward peace. The framework reportedly includes the gradual withdrawal of Israeli forces from southern Lebanon and measures to restore Lebanese sovereignty. The conflict has resulted in thousands of deaths and displaced more than 1 million people, while officials say further negotiations are expected to continue. U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran still retains some military capability but insists Tehran is not winning the ongoing confrontation. Speaking at an event hosted by the Faith and Freedom Coalition, President Trump referred to an alleged drone attack on a cargo vessel near the Strait of Hormuz. He said Iran launched 4 drones and that U.S. forces intercepted 3 of them. The U.S. president repeated claims that Iran's drone, missile, and radar infrastructure has suffered heavy damage. He also predicted that gasoline prices in the United States could soon fall to $2.50 per gallon. Turning to diplomacy, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has held discussions with British Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper on regional developments and ongoing negotiations with the United States. Both sides stressed the importance of regional stability and continued diplomatic engagement. Separately, UAE Foreign Minister Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed emphasized the need to protect maritime routes and ensure freedom of navigation through the Strait of Hormuz during talks with his Iranian counterpart. The conversation represented rare direct contact between Abu Dhabi and Tehran following recent U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran and growing tensions across the Gulf. Back home, Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar says 22 Iranian crew members from a tanker seized by U.S. forces have arrived safely in Pakistan. The crew members were serving aboard the MT Davina, which was intercepted during the recent U.S.-Iran conflict. Islamabad says arrangements are now being finalized with Iranian authorities for their return home. For more on this story, we go to our Islamabad correspondent, Sarah William.
Thank you, Chris. Officials here say Pakistan has remained in close contact with both Washington and Tehran throughout the repatriation process. The Foreign Office says the arrival of the 22 crew members reflects Pakistan's continued humanitarian engagement during regional tensions. Authorities also confirmed that more than 70 Iranian crew members have been facilitated through Pakistan over the past 2 months. Diplomatic channels remain active as officials work to complete the latest transfers safely and efficiently.
Thank you, Sarah William in Islamabad. Finally, the federal government has decided to keep petrol and high-speed diesel prices unchanged at 299 rupees and 50 paisa and 311 rupees and 47 paisa per liter respectively until further orders. The Petroleum Division issued a notification confirming the decision. The move follows earlier reductions of 74 rupees per liter for petrol and 67 rupees for diesel after a decline in international oil prices. Fuel costs remain under close watch as uncertainty in global energy markets continues amid tensions surrounding the Strait of Hormuz. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today. I'm Chris Taylor.